Hi, I'm Tim Wright, certified arborist and your local tree doctor. I want to talk to you about root flares on trees. Here we have a mature maple tree, and at the base of the trunk of the tree, we have what's called a root flare. That's where the main roots come off the base of the trunk of the tree, and typically trees have anywhere from 5 to 7 main roots coming off the trunk. You can see on this mature maple the root flare is very pronounced, but every tree, no matter how large or small, has a root flare. So if we look over here, a little bit less mature maple tree still has a very pronounced root flare at the base of the trunk. Then we have a little sapling here, maybe ½ inch in diameter, still has a root flare. So this is very important to remember. Root flares should always remain exposed on trees. So when you're mulching around your trees, like for example this mature maple, you want to make sure that you don't cover up any part of the root flare. Whether it's soil or mulch, you don't want to cover up any of the root flare. You'll see sometimes volcano mulching where the entire root flare of the tree is covered up and it looks like basically a telephone pole sticking up out of the mulch. If there's no flare at the base of the trunk, then that means it's covered by the mulch. And that causes a lot of problems for the tree. It causes the bark to decay, disease gets into the tree, and it can compromise the structural integrity of the tree's trunk and roots, which obviously on a mature large maple like this, not only is it an issue for the health of the tree, but it also increases the risk of the tree falling and causing damage. So just remember, you always want the root flare to remain exposed. If you can't see the root flare at the base of the tree, then that means it's covered with either soil or mulch, and it needs to be uncovered carefully so that you don't damage the bark. But when you're adding mulch, you want to make sure that you're not covering any part of the root flare.